PSG 5, Chelsea 2, and what can I say? What can I say? You know, well, what can I say? The lineups come out, and obviously I dropped the short and I talked about this. I said the goalkeeper was a major gamble. It was a major gamble. I'm not gonna come here and say, you know what, the goalkeeper, if Sanchez was playing, would have been flawless, but we know Sanchez is a better shot stopper. I know he's not as good as him as with his feet, and if the game ended and he didn't make any mistakes, I would have come out and I would have praised him because with his feet he was doing his thing. But it's your goalkeeper, and you're supposed to use your hands. Before I fully lose my head here, make sure liking and subscribing and hype the video, all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Support the channel. If you want to be a member or whatever, should be somewhere in the description. You know what I mean? Support the channel and appreciate everyone that's watching this. But let's actually get into it now. Yeah, I think that we majority of the game matched PSG. We managed to stay in the game. Stupid things here and there, but with the speed of which they transition in the PSG team, yeah, you can't afford to mess up as much as we did in that game. And if you're going to hit them on the transition, the couple of times we scored goals is when we actually just went. We went, quick transition, Neto on the run, pass it here, boom, finish, goal. That's how we scored the goals, bro. And instead, there's so many times when we just went on the counter and we slowed down. Again, whether I'm on the bite against Arsenal, whether I'm on the bite against some other teams. Stop slowing down, bro. I watched the breakdown thing of Rossini, and he's like, we want to attack as quick as we can. We want to get to the other side of the pitch as quick as we can. But you got to make use of it. You can't just hesitate. And every time we just lobbed this ball to the other side, we just kept wasting it. Now, there's players we need to talk about as well. Listen, Cole Palmer, you know what I'm saying, gargantuan stinker as well today. Yeah, could have scored a goal, and yes, when the goalkeeper saved his shot and it went to the other side and we conceded, and I'll get into that. João Pedro was on an island. Enzo Fernández, let me take that, man. Let me take that back. Not even Enzo Fernández, but it's...
Bring that back.
It's Enzo Fernández, bro. He covered up his performance with a goal, masked it with a stinker. You know what I mean? Goal masked by, what's it called? Stinker masked by a goal. That's what it was with him. I think Caicedo did well in midfield, and without him, the centre backs. The centre backs. There was so many periods when we were fine, but when it got to having to defend, it's like they just forgot how to defend. Specifically that Fofana brother, bro. And yeah, Jurgensen was getting away with it. Jurgensen just kept getting away with it. He kept getting away with it. And I was like, well, at some point, you're not going to get away with it. Even the commentator was saying, at some point, you're not going to get away with it. And the reason I'm this agitated, yeah, is because of how the game ended. And I'll obviously get to the end of the game. But all this energy, we always seems to direct the energy towards the things that don't matter, bro. Do you know what I mean? Man's trying to kick the ball boy because he tried to push the ball out. Let's check potential red card. You know what I mean? That's all we need. After all the goals we conceded, let's just get a red card, and then you end up conceding as well. Kvaratskhelia came on the 62nd minute and scored 2 goals and got 1 assist, bro. In like 30 minutes, bro. He got 2 goals, 1 assist, and there's man that played 60 minutes that ain't even done a quarter, not even done a quarter of what he's done. Caicedo was passing, everything was good. Like he was covering, he was trying to get the ball when people like when Chalobah and that were getting caught out, he was trying to cover them. You know what I'm saying? Defending well. I think Gusto done well. Do you know what I mean? And I think I'm pretty sure he was the one that assisted Enzo Fernández. But let me get through the goals, innit? Let me get through the goals, because bro, I don't know, man. Barcola scored in the 10th minute, obviously the first goal. And listen, it was a banger, innit? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to come in and say, oh, I expected this guy to save it and all that. I'd be a waffler. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd be a waffler. But yeah, Gusto gets the thingy to match it and make it 1-1. At that point, like I said, every time we kind of got real momentum, we scored. Do you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like that bad. Do you get me? We had a better XG. I think our XG was like 1.5, 3 overall, 4 big chances. We had more big chances, same amount of shots. But if you watch the game, you wouldn't say that we had the same amount of shots. So you just felt like they just almost scored from every opportunity that they got, essentially. Do you get me? They only had 3 big chances, 0.87 XG. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we gifted them those goals, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. Dembele won, bro. Again, we got, obviously, Palmer goes to the other side. We have that good opportunity. Palmer has a shot from good, I think, Gusto assist, potential assist, you know what I'm saying? And then it almost goes in. Well, goalkeeper saves it. And then I don't know why the defenders are so high up. Where is, okay, the dangers are around us, just in case. They're good at hitting on the counter. I don't know, it seems like we didn't learn when we kept getting hit on the counter by Watkins the other week. That was Watkins. Obviously, these man ain't Watkins. These man ain't Watkins. Yeah, cool, we concede. We go into halftime 2-1 down. Do you know what I mean? And then Enzo Fernández gets his goal. At least he didn't sky it. Do you know what I'm saying? Even in the first half, the goalkeeper, the Jurgensen, made a save from, who was it? Dembele. You know what I mean? And I think he made another save. Yeah. I think that was from, I don't remember, but he made a save. He made a couple of saves in the first half. I think we were playing well in the first half. It's the second half that's so stinky, bro. That second half, it felt like it was all PSG, bro. And we essentially just stayed in the game. That's how it felt like. You know what I mean? Palmer was non-existent, especially that second half. The first half, you had things here and there. But I'm saying, but it was him and Enzo Fernández just slowing down our attacks, bro. Whereas we knew that usually those are the ones that always progressed. And I feel like when you don't really have the ball as much, Palmer's not there as much as when we have the ball majority of the time, when the attacks go through him. But either way, like I said, I'm not blaming João Pedro, because every time the ball went to him, he was on his island. I've been saying this, whether it's this striker or that striker. If you want the player to hold the ball up for you, you have to be in nearby areas, bro, so that he can bop the ball off someone and do things. He's getting the ball, dropping it down, there's no one there. Every time there's no one there, he's on his own. And then after that, you get the Vitinha goal. That's when that idiot messed up. Just like Kingski, and then he got chipped. Of course, we had to get chipped. Kvaratskhelia then later on in the game scores that goal where Reece James loses the ball. It's like Reece James, like, time stopped. That's how it feels like. It felt like time just stopped. Time stopped. He lost the ball, ran towards his own box. Kvaratskhelia got the ball on the other side, done his thing. And then he just bopped, he just shot, bro. Jurgensen could have saved that as well. Even though the shot was powerful, when they showed the replay, his hand was literally this far away from the ball, bro. Do you get me? You could have at least put your hand on it. That's when you talk about the what's it called? The shot stopping. That's when the shot stopping is important, because guess what? His feet weren't saving him there. And even for the Dembele goal, when Fofana got skinned, that's also when Jurgensen could have potentially done better. Yes, it had a little deflection, but same thing for me. Yeah, and then 94th minute, that's when that's when the Neto thing happened, and he's arguing with, trying to kick this ball boy thing. And I don't know, this is what I'm saying, bro. We just do some stupid things that every time you look at it, you're just like, what is going on? What is going on? I get it. The kid took the mic and tried to whatever, like, I hear it. But you don't have to do that, bro. There's a second leg. You're still in the game. And then they concede another one. 4-2, you think about it. But now we have to score 3 goals at home to match their result. You know? We have to score 3 goals at home at Stamford Bridge to match their result. And at least maybe score another one. You know what I'm saying? And look, if it's a game like this where it goes back and forth and we both score goals, then I don't know, it could be different. But I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if the score wasn't this high up in terms of a 3-goal difference, 2-goal difference, I was like, we'll still take it to Stamford Bridge. I don't know, innit? Do you know what I mean? I don't know what to think, bro. Right now, it's for me, it's 50-50. Do you know what I'm saying? Either we can do a mad thing and turn up, or don't talk about it. Do you know what I mean? We're not talking about it. They're going to have rest, and obviously they've moved one of their games off because they knew they're in the Champions League. We still have to play Newcastle. And yeah, like I said, Kvaratskhelia just scored another goal, bro, at the end. And the game ended 5-2. And look at they bought, who did they buy? They bought on Cannon Lee, took off Esmond Dembele. Kvaratskhelia for Due. But Barcola, yes, he caused us some problems. Lucas Hernandez for Zai Emery. We took off Cole Palmer and bought on Romeo Lavia, bro. And even at the end, he bought on, when did he bought on Nashers for Gusto, Liam Delap. Why didn't he just throw on Liam Delap to have two strikers up front to cause, maybe try to cause them some problems and nick a goal or something? I don't know. I mean, try something different, bro. To take off João Pedro and then bring on Liam Delap, like he's not going to go through similar problems. You know what I'm saying? If you get put on the island, it's bad. And yeah, like I said, we didn't have anyone to bring off the bench. Yeah, of course, Neto got an assist. Gusto got the goal. Enzo Fernández got a goal and assist. Yeah, and that's it. Do you know what I'm saying? That's it. It was like an average performance. And this is where the disappointment comes from, because we could do much better. Do you know what I'm saying? We could do much better, bro. I think Pacho done his thing. Mendes was getting caught out on that left on thingy. We were getting our goals from that Hakimi side because of how high we pushed off and how much Marquinhos is he can't really keep up with most players, innit? That's his thing. Mendes also pushes up a lot, and that's the side we exploited as well, I think, with the Gusto goal. And we knew, look, Mendes was someone that could have missed the next game. We didn't test him enough, and that also comes from Palmer, bro. We knew that he was on a yellow. If he got a yellow, he would miss the second leg. We didn't test him enough. We didn't test him enough, bro. And that's my thing, bro. Like, we can't expect to do things if we're not gonna turn up in these games, bro. Or like, if you can't hold the lead, you can't do these things. I can't expect the team to. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't expect the team to do something different. Do you know what I'm saying? And go and do. Yes, on our day we can do a mad thing, but like for me, like I said, then it ain't the one for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Either way, make sure you're liking and subscribing. And yeah, man, I'm out. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm out. Let me know your thoughts. Can we come back at Stamford Bridge? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below, innit? I'm out.